So, the Rings of Power showrunners, as if we already didn't know that they couldn't help themselves. Again, these are the same people who said that they were going to respect the works of J.R.R. Tolkien, that they weren't going to add anything that wasn't already there, and that if they did add characters or something, they wouldn't have any kind of major, you know, impact on the plot. But no, here they go, once again, adding Gandalf to the Second Age, despite the fact that he arrived by boat during the Third Age. But, who cares? Rings of Power showrunners defend Gandalf reveal. Is there any way we can justify him being around? It's just too tempting to not go there. Or you could remember that you promised fans not to mess with the lore. Now, I have to keep bringing this up because there's always that person. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Why do you care? Well, it must be so nice being able to go through life with no passions, no nothing. Oh, well, why are people apologizing? Why are people saying sorry and about my cat being hit? It was just a cat. Who cares? Must be nice not having any attachments to anything. Because if you had passions or hobbies, you'd be mad if someone came along and ruined them too. And don't say you wouldn't be, because if you have a passion for something, you're not going to be a-okay with someone coming in and ruining it. So it must be nice to be so carefree and so passionless and hobbyless that you're just like, oh, why does it matter? Why does it matter? Because the company themselves, Amazon themselves, said that we were not going to mess up the lore. We're going to stick to the lore. If we add characters, they're not going to have a huge impact on the story. They're just going to be kind of new characters to be introduced to interact with the characters that we already know. But then they do this crap. And then they have the whole freaking Galadriel and Elrond crap. And then they have the freaking with just Galadriel in general crap. They have the Tom Bombadil crap. They have all this crap that was completely changed. And then they wonder why people are mad. The decision to introduce Gandalf to the series narrative was made primarily because, simply put, he's one of the franchise's most recognizable characters. They don't care. Tom Bombadil, who they also freaking ruined. Tom Bombadil, jolly, merry fellow who dresses weird, who lives in the forest. He's married to a river spirit named Goldberry, and nope. In the show, he's living in a fucking desert. He's not married at all, it seems. There's no Goldberry. He's not nearly as jolly or happy or anything as he is in the book. But sure, get mad at the fans for calling this out. A wizard is never lit. A wizard does not find his staff, he declares. It finds him. That sounds kind of familiar. The wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter. Notably, as fans of the books may know, the appearance of Gandalf in the Second Age presents a conflict with J.R.R. Tolkien's original timeline. As noted in the series Appendix B, the Astari, or wizards, did not appear in Middle-earth until the Third Age, specifically after 1,000 years have passed and the first shadow had fallen on the Greenwood the Great. Further, not only did they arrive to the land rather late in the age, per Unfinished Tales of Numenor, Gandalf himself was the last comer among them. Or comer. Is it comer? Yeah, it's last comer. So he's like the last one. I remember the Blue Wizards arrived first. Now, the Blue Wizards apparently arrived at like the end of the Second Age. But Radagast, Saruman, and Gandalf arrived in the Third Age. But no, who cares about lore? Who cares about it? Who cares? Who cares? Why does anyone care? Again, must be so nice to go through life with no passions or anything. You must be real fucking fun at parties. Yeah, I don't see why anyone cares about this. Why does anyone care about birthday parties? I mean, yeah, it's like, wow, you're real fun there. However, despite the existence of the Stark timeline discrepancy, Kay and Payne say they still decided to introduce Gandalf to the Rings of Power because they believe the audiences would have been disappointed to not see the franchise's most beloved character. No, people would have not been upset because anyone who knows the story knows that he wasn't there in the Second Age. We know the story takes place in the Second Age. If we don't see Gandalf, we're not going to complain about him not being in the Second Age because we know he wasn't there. This is trying to appease the fans who are kind of like, oh, I don't know much about Lord of the Rings, but oh, I know who Gandalf is. It's for them because the true fans aren't going to give a shit. They're not going to care. That's like adding Harry Potter to like the freaking Fantastical Beasts movies. It's like he's not even around at that time, but it still takes place in the Harry Potter universe, so we should have Harry Potter pop up. No. No. Lord of the Rings fans know he arrived at the Third Age, during the Third Age. Not seeing him in the second, we're not going to care because we know he wasn't there. Asked during a recent interview with Deadline, Mike Fleming Jr. if they could provide any behind-the-scenes details regarding Gandalf's introduction, McKay began, we talked a lot about him over 6 years, and we wanted a wizard in the story. Again, they're telling us that they were going to stick to the lore and telling the story of the Second Age because it has been told before, at least on screen. And we had a lot of talk with the Tolkien estate about what it takes to make it feel like Middle Earth. How do you make Lord of the Rings show without Lord of the Rings' most beloved character? This is why they fail again and again. That's the guy from the Captain Obvious commercials. These two showrunners are the very embodiment that J.R.R. Tolkien was talking about. You know what they say. You know the saying about enough monkeys with enough typewriters given enough time would write the complete works of Shakespeare? 2 monkeys, 2 typewriters, 2 months tops, and they'd have enough time to hack out a season of Amazon's Wheel of Time. Nobody cares about the show, so we're introducing a beloved character with no purpose being in it to attract attention. Yeah, exactly. That's what it was for. It's like, well, I don't know much about Lord of the Rings, but hey, I know who Gandalf is. Because again, real fans know the lore. Real fans don't care if Gandalf is in it. Okay, so yeah, how do you make a Lord of the Rings? This quote tells me once again all I need to know about how much of a clown these dudes are running the show. He was honest. They don't care about the canon. They just want the member berries of Gandalf so the normies would watch it. Yeah. Again, that's like taking Harry Potter, like the Fantastical Beasts series, and adding Harry Potter in there. I mean, it's the same kind of like time stuff because the Second Age, long before Gandalf even arrived, but let's just add him there. So, Harry Potter, Harry being from, mainly in the 90s, being sent back to, what, it was the 40s or 50s or whatever it is. Whatever. I mean, you can't have Harry Potter series or something with Harry Potter without Harry Potter, right? He's the main character. He's the most recognizable character. So if we're gonna have a Harry Potter spin-off movie about the Fantastic, we need him popping up because the story just wouldn't make sense without him. And he's the most recognizable character. Too tempting. I think you spelled too easy incorrectly. Utter rubbish. This just shows they have no respect for source material. Small changes are fine. In the films, Elves at Helm's Deep, Arwen instead of Glorfindel, etc. But this goes too far. It should not be focused on elves and Numenor. That's what the Second Age was about, not hobbits and not Gandalf. Yeah, it should be focused on elves and Numenor. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. They managed to make Hodor's hold the door explanation seem like more a legitimate twist. But yeah, once again, these two jackholes come out and be like, oh, we don't care about lore. We just wanted people to watch the show. People know who Gandalf is, so we're just gonna add him in. Oh, I mean, the fans would be upset. The fans who care about the lore and know the story would be upset if Gandalf wasn't in the Second Age, even though he arrived by boat during the Third Age. But they would care. They're the ones who would care. Yeah, now, okay. I hear it now. I know what it is. It's that freaking jackass next door with his stupid-ass truck. Boy, I love living in a place with stereotypical freaking rednecks. I love it. It makes me happy. Anyway. But again, proving these people don't care. They say they're not going to do something, and then they ended up doing it. Then they try justifying every time they make a choice. Or, you know, they decide, oh, we're just going to attack fans. Instead of accepting that maybe you guys are the problem in creating these terrible stories and adding things that aren't supposed to be there. Instead of doing that, you just blame everyone else. And again, why does it matter? Why does it matter? Who cares? Well, one, you're caring enough to comment. So there's that. Second, must be nice to not have any passions in life. Because if you did, you would understand. Don't say, oh, I wouldn't care. Yeah, you would. No one has passions about anything while being perfectly fine with someone coming in and ruining it. Then it's not a passion now, is it? So, nice try there, asshole. But, anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.